Alright, you little tinkers, I'm Toastbloke. Welcome to my channel. We are flying through this Prehistoric Kingdom early access playthrough. So much so, in fact, that the game's trying to tell us that we've already accomplished our goal of building a 5-star rated dinosaur park, but we haven't, because all of the stars aren't fully highlighted. So we're going to keep playing until they are. Let's get cracking. Towards the back end of the last video, after we'd built this enclosure here for our Triceratops, we were having a look around the amphitheatre that we made, which I have had to make a few changes to, like lowering this wall so the guests can actually see in, popping some lights in so it's not pitch black at night, and sprucing things up by putting flowers in the flower beds. But yeah, as we were looking around here, we had a peep down here, we're like, yeah, guests can look in there, and we had a look across the other part of the enclosure, but we turned around at one point and saw there was a beautiful view with nothing beautiful to actually view. So I think that's going to be where we start off today, starting to work around the other side of the amphitheatre so the guests get a 360 view of the area. And no surprises, we want a 5-star dinosaur to try and boost this park as much as we can. And I'm pretty sure there was only like Parasaurolophus left that was 5 stars. So there's one there. I think there was a few different variants about the place. There's one there. What's the difference between them? It's the head, man. They've got a different head. That one's got a long pointy head, and that's got just a little flat head. I like the long pointy head. I guess that would be their crest, right? That's what that would be called. I feel like there was another one over here, if I remember as well. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that one's really nice. That one's got the long crest and better colours. So I'm going to pick that one and we'll go into our nursery. We'll head to the genetics lab and we will breed ourselves a male and a female. Hang on. Why has that one not got the nice colours on its head? Oh, right. Okay. That must be a variance in the species. I'm guessing, a bit like with birds and things, the male needs to attract the female. So that's why that one there has a beautiful coloured crest. And the female, it's a little bit bland. I feel bad saying that to her, bless her, but it's the truth. Hey, as long as he's digging her, that's cool. As long as she's digging him, everybody's a winner. So I feel like I'm going to have to work downhill so that this stays on top of the hill. So it's like the main feature. From wherever you are around it, you can see it. You look up and it's there in the skyline. I'm also wondering if we try and create some viewing points for the guests looking across this enclosure at the amphitheatre, because it's quite a, quite a interesting building to look at. So if I have to create a path that comes around here with some viewing points maybe, and yeah, see how that goes. Now, what was the size? I haven't been paying attention, I don't think. What size? They need a 20k metre squared enclosure, a tiny fence apparently. Will they not just step over that or climb that, or have they got an inability to raise their feet above their own ankles? Like, is that what's going on there? We need tropical, wetland or coastal, so we'll pick one of those when we get there. But this is a big enclosure, so maybe I start by mapping out the enclosure, working out where some different viewing points across it are going to be, and then getting it decorated. So landscaping is where I'm going to start. Isn't the land raised on this side? It is, yeah. I wonder how high that is. Like if I get that, say it's high point there. Bring that across. Will that bridge? No, it's not quite as high, but it's, it makes sense to maybe merge them at some point. I think I'll have to tie them in somehow. So yeah, I'm just going to raise the rest of the land around here, leveled off to this height. So, I hate that lag I get after doing the landscape when the game's catching up. Right, so we've got that kind of level with that path. And then I need to decide where this is going to drop down and how far. So, since we want to create an elevation point, I'm going to say about... Oh, wrong one. I'm going to say about here. I want this to be deep enough for the guests to fall into and not be able to get back out, maybe. But I don't really want them breaking anything. Like, you know, I don't want to have to... be funny for them to get trapped and fall in hit with the dinosaurs. But I also don't want to have to like pay any insurance money out. So, you know, if they can fall, not break any limbs, then I think that's the best result for everyone. I think that's level enough. I just need to tidy up now where these weird angles have kind of created themselves, these weird slopes. So I'm going to bring this down to 20, this down to 50 maybe, just to make it a bit less intense. Especially if I'm going to want to run a path through here. Maybe the path will come up here and the hole smooth down and bring it through where I think it might go. Let's see what happens. Smooth off enough to not have a little weird janky bit there, like, because it's just going to be janky. Let's do that and then smooth it. Alright, that janky bit's gone. I can live with that. But then that's bringing that back because the way the smooth tool works. And oh no, because I'm not using the smooth tool. It didn't change, man. I have so many problems because the tool doesn't change to what I want it to be changing to at points. Like, I go to click it and it doesn't do it. And it just leaves us like absolutely in a mess. Alright, smooth across there again, just in case the path is going to come up and down here. I'm glad I kind of know how these tools work now. It feels like it makes things a lot easier and a lot faster than previously did. And when I was having to kind of fully figure them out, and it was just an absolute nightmare. So we've got a bit of a bank down there. Alright, let's tidy up this side then as well. Need to work out how this is going to work. Maybe this path curves around there, or that one there. Like, could we even bring a path from over here round over? Yeah, I'm going to smooth this part. I feel like this would be the part that needs smoothing. I'm going to smooth it that way as well, just in case we want to run the path down like that. And this can all smooth because I don't know what's going to be happening here. That might even just want to be leveled, this part. If it changes, it didn't do it again. I swear I clicked on it. I swear, but nothing happened. And then smooth that. No change. Oh my god. Nah, it's still not changed, man. I'm clicking it. Blow my neck. I don't think a game. That's a lie. There is a game that stresses out more than this. This was meant to be a chill game. I think I get stressed when, like, I'm trying to click on something or do something, and what I'm clicking and doing is not responding. Like, I feel like that's the worst thing in a game. Like, I'm happy to lose. I'm happy to do bad. I'm happy to mess up because, you know, that's part of learning. It's part of the fun, getting better and stuff. But I hate it when you know you're doing something and the game's not responding. That's the worst thing that exists in gaming. I might even want to just quickly get rid of some of these trees because they're like big style in the way of where the paths go. Lovely. Right, I'm going to give this a go. I'll be back with you once we have a lovely curving, sweeping path. Cracking, job's done. Now this probably looks huge. It is. The reason I've done it huge is these need 20k, and I remember that our enclosure over here is 30k meters squared. So we need something that's going to be a good size. So that's why I've done this big. The next thing is going to be to check it with fence. We're going to use fence markers because I just do like using those. And get the habitat marker in, and then from there we can mess about with that, adjust it, get things sorted. And if we need to change it to fences, when we need fences, where's a good place to start? I might just start in this big curve here. Right, be back once we've got a lovely fence, well, marker. I think that is potentially a nice rough draft of what our enclosure could potentially look like. Gonna go and check it with the dinosaurs and also Nige. Like, them colours are mad. I didn't realise how bright they're gonna be. Like, in the menu, sometimes things look a bit like brighter, and I've been disappointed when the actual dinosaurs in the game. This one actually looks sick. I really like it. It is beautiful as can be. I guess who else will think they're beautiful?
Now that, my friend,
Oh my god.
is a beautiful dinosaur.
Yeah.
Almost like a
It's a
musical
beautiful
instrument.
dinosaur. He's actually
Parasaurolophus
said it. I
used
called it
their
as well,
crest
man.
for long-distance communication.
Almost like a musical
The crests
instrument.
are made out of bone
Nigel.
riddled with hollow
We know
tubes,
you like to have a little
which help
fiddle
amplify that
and a little bit of a
beautiful singing
toot-toot.
voice of theirs. You're
And not just
listening
with the
to
instruments
the first
that are in
orchestra
your
on Earth.
music room. Because we know he's got a music room. Yeah, Nigel's definitely got a music room. Nigel, if you're going to make music, make it without the dinosaurs, please. Whoa, we're way too big. This is almost as big as the other enclosure. But that's fine. We needed space. We need space. If we want to bring the size down, we can, but I don't see the point. Let's stick with it. Let's roll with it. We can maybe get some other dinos in here at some point. What I'm going to do now is just the last little bit of landscaping. So this looks a bit of a mess at the minute. I've basically dug a little bit deeper into this enclosure so guests can still kind of look down from this side. I don't want it to be harsh like that though. I'm going to smooth it off. Right, I think that is looking good. You know, it's not just plain and boring. We've got some different shapes going on, some different levels. I want to figure out potential viewing areas. So I might work on that. I might work on a structure. Something I've been wanting to do as well, actually, is try and build something with these, the structural elements, as opposed to the actual building parts, like the building tiles. So maybe today's the day that we try that. So let's have a look at some different bits. I like the look at these. I'm just going to go over here on the flat to build this as well. I like the look of these. I feel like they must be feet technically for, say, joists and things that you're going to put down. So let's get one of them, and I want this on grid. It makes life easier. Let's put them 2 apart, and we'll do 4 of them. That seems alright to me. Maybe we go for these chunkier posts for this part. They look like they maybe match up better actually. So let's do that. And then we've got this beam, which is longer. I should be able to hit V. I want angle snap on. 90 is great. Let's flip that over. Whoa, not that far. And then I should be able to move that around. I'm just going to lift that up and snap that in at the place it needs to be snapped into. Cool. So that's kind of like a frame. I'm probably going to want some sort of fence. I'm going to copy this beam down. I feel like that will make sense. Don't want it right at the bottom. I think it needs to be above because we've got those feet there. So I think that makes sense. And then maybe a smaller one. Maybe those round ones. Was it that? That's the wood. Maybe something like, ooh, I could put things in between. That might look quite cool. Maybe. Maybe we do that and they have a different function. What would their function be? I have no idea yet. And maybe I need some sort of fence. That looks quite cool. I mean, if I put something in place and it looks cool, I'm just going to go with it because why wait? Why mess about? One thing that's annoying is slightly, well, not just slightly, it's really getting on my wick, is those aren't tall enough. So I'm going to grab them and I'm going to stretch them up to the similar height as those beams that are there. And then I could just duplicate these and raise them up. There's another little section on top. And that looks quite cool. I'm just trying to think of ways of making it a bit more interesting. Means I'm going to have to do this again though, god damn it. Lovely. But I like that. That gap needs filling in. So let's copy these. And I'm just going to duplicate them. And we'll move them ones up. And they can fill in that gap. And we've kind of got a nice wooden structure. We're going to do similar again, I guess. On those benches they have like canopies. Let's have a look and see where they would be. Are they in here? Structural elements. Would they be lighting? No. Building accessories. So they've got a curved, square, got triangle. I think we're just going to go for square. And we'll lift that up to the top roughly. Is that about right? Yeah, that looks about right. So if I place that there, and get this roughly to the size I'm going to want. Cool. Right, well I'm happy with how that is. That means I'm going to have to work out what's going to be on the back for it to clip to. I'm going to just duplicate this again, bring it across here. If I bring the grid size right down. Yeah, it looks like that's going to work. It's a bit too close to it though. We'll go with that because it's working. And I'll adjust the size of this a little bit. Pull that in. See if we can get it sitting nicely so it looks like it's suspended. And then I guess we can repeat that going across. I can potentially put wood going across there and then down onto there. I think that's going to look cool. Let's do that. Coming together, we're starting to get something, and then it's working on this angled back. I guess I won't need this, will I? I'm going to have to select these 4 posts and duplicate them and see if I can do something to make these. We need a different angle, and we'll go 25. That looks like that's as close as we're going to get. I want the world orientation on to do this, and I think get a feeling I'm going to want to move them forward a little bit as well. That's not really that good of an angle. I was hoping for something a little bit more spectacular, but this is what I've done. I'll tick those. If I get these now, maybe shorten these down, I think that would look quite cool, so that they're going to be around the height of that. And then move them into it. I'm going to tick them first because I'm going to want these bottom bits as well to come forward, since they're part of that. And once that's in there looking smooth and tidy, I'll select these and just adjust them so that they're not, so they don't look like they've got kneecaps. I need to get them lined up with the joint properly. I think that's as best as I'm getting. And they look quite cool sticking through the top, to be honest, if I can move this back a little bit. Just going to take a few little alterations to get things looking decent. So yeah, and I know that's a bit weird. Looks really odd, if I'm honest with you. I don't know if you would ever build anything like this. It may not be structure really sound, but it's what we've gone for. I'm just going to copy this across from the other side as well. I'll go with that. And then I'm wondering, which side do I want to be the front? I quite like this where the guests can walk up, and that looks quite cool. I don't know why, because this side is just plain, flat, bit straight. This side's nice and open. Quite like this side, I think. That's making us wonder if I need to outstretch the canopy over the top. I'm liking this. See, it's what happens. You just got to keep twiddling and fiddling. Like Nigel does with the dinosaurs. You just got to keep twiddling and fiddling, I think, until you stumble across something that you really like. That's what seems to be what happens with me. I don't come near with any ideas. The whole point in this is it's my first playthrough. It's my first try of the game. And to learn the game. But what I'm finding is you can learn the mechanics. I don't think you never learn having a good idea. I think that's just something you figure out as you go. I feel like this seems too low now, especially if this is now the front. So, we're going to have to go backwards a little bit to go forwards. Don't mind me. I think that's another little happy accident we've had there. So I'm wondering if some people don't like lean over and try and fall out the back. I've been looking. We used the chainmail for the fence that I made around the, what was it? My little outhouse. My one little outhouse, and it might be nice to try and use some more of that again because we've not really used it at all. And I think it's such a cool material, so I want to give it another go. So let's just pull that so that's in between the wood. I don't mind if it's between that bit of wood, that's fine. And then does this space out from the middle? Yeah, perfect. That's going to do exactly what I want. Other than this not having a floor, I think we're probably there. So let's see if we can get the floor in. I think that is my little outdoor shelter complete. I think it looks real nice. I'm more than happy with that. I'm going to move this one for starters here somewhere. Where's the view? I think the view would be there. So let's put one on this corner. And I'm going to stick it in the enclosure a little bit. Because I'm going to make it so that people walk up to it and get onto it from a path. So I think that's alright. So let's lower this so that it's touching the ground where the ground is at the back. And then I'm going to edit the group and I'm going to bring these things. These can be longer. These are going to go down into the ground potentially. And I think they size vertically, don't they? So I'll have to move them down like so to get them to touch the ground. They're going through the ground, it doesn't matter so much. I can fix that a little bit later. And then stretch them up to where I want them to be. That's perfect. Ooh, I should probably have put sides on these, shouldn't I? Oh my god. Yeah, I should probably have put sides on. Wait, how are they getting in here? I've not even thought about that, have I? My god. Right, let's turn the grid back on. We're going to want the sides. Ensure that the bottom are here. Grid, please. I'm an idiot sometimes, honestly. Get the other side on as well. We're going to have an opening in the back. Like I say, Just figure it out as you go. So I'm wondering if I can be like clever with my placement and just get these to go nicely into a position that I want from the off. If I can get the stairs and stuff just to look good. The stairs are in where they want to be there. I have to adjust those legs. But the stairs is the main bit. If we get the stairs right, everything else should look right. I think that's right as well. Lovely. So let's fix the legs. I'll be right back with you once they're done. Class, that is them done, and they look like they're sitting pretty, almost. There's a few little adjustments I'll need to make with them, but I'm going to do that when I finally work them into the enclosure, which is what I'm going to be doing next. Basically, I want to try and run the fences up to these points, maybe even under, to like close that gap in, and then have them running all the way around so that the guests walk over the fence almost into the enclosure to view the dinosaurs. So I think that's what I'm going to work on next. I'll be right back with you once the fencing is complete. Lovely, I think that is them all fenced in and fitting in. So let's click on these and just check that the habitat is still a good size. Please be, please be. Yes, perfect, lovely, this is great. This is going better than I thought. Now, I'm going to want to use, I think it was wetland, which I'm going to use. And because I've got these little viewing stations, I think they kind of fit the theme nicely. So we're going to go wetland. But before I do, I want to line the edge of this with the temperate rock. We're going to jump in and start thinking about water. Now, I don't feel like the water needs to be massively deep with a wetland area, but we're going to go a little bit deeper than I sometimes would. I'm going to pop that there. I think I'm going to go for the pool approach again. I quite like it when we've got the different pools knocking about the place. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've ruined this puddle. Let's make it a bit smaller. Smaller? I want rid of the water on it. There we go. That's better. I feel like it's better to put the water in and then take the water away. You end up with these cool like bits of landscape as well, which I don't normally make on my own. Let's get that right under there. Same with this one. And if I've got water to play about with still, I will do. Let's check in with the dinos again. Are they happy with the water? Oh, we're going to have plenty more water. Wow. These really don't care. Yeah, cool. They've got enough water there. Yeah, I think I've got a little bit more mental than I wanted to. But you know, happy days. I'm going to get the substrate paints out. We need to remember to go to wetland. And I guess I'm just going to go crazy with the mud. Now I just want to go in with my smoothing tool and just make sure I'm happy with the edges of this stuff. Make sure I feel like the water's looking tidy. By accident, in the last one, I kind of put the dinosaur's bed down early, and it made sense because I could see where to put trees and things. So I'm going to look at the dinosaurs' prefab beds because I can't be bothered to make one. I've already made something today. And we were going to try this in the last one, weren't we? Where could that go? I feel like it would have to go here. And I do like this, so I think we might use this. Can I put that, say, there? So look how close that is to that edge. Let's say this goes here. I'm going to have to pull the land out, but that's no problem. It might make it more interesting. Let's find out. I think that looks sick. Cool. And then we've got the beds in there. So next thing to think about is where we might want to put some food. I'm going to want the food to be in a position for them to be able to eat it and people watch them eat it as well. So if I was stood here, it might be cool to look up here. Let's make sure we've got this on. Might be cool to look up here and see a dinosaur eating it. If I was at this one. I guess it puts it at regular intervals for the dinos as well. I'd probably put it, say, here. And then if I was over at this one, maybe up one here. Down this top bit here. Lovely. Now, I think they like the ice block for their enrichment. It is, yeah, frozen fruit block. So we'll pop a few of those down as well. But maybe like at the opposite side or edge to where I've put the food. Just so there's something for people to watch the dinos do. Whichever side they decide to do it on. There, class. It's coming together nicely, this. Before I start putting rocks in, which is one of my favourite parts, I don't know why. I feel like that's the main thing in the game, is just rocks. I'm going to roughen up some of these banks. That's brilliant. Time for the rocks. Let's go. I think that is the rocks along the back wall done, or at least done enough. I'm happy with them. I want to now exit that group. Whoa, I didn't want to zoom in. And I want to work out how I'm going to get the rocks around this front wall here. Cool, so I think that's enough rocks probably around that part, just to try and get them to tie, and I'm going to jump back to the temperate thing again. Use that same kind of rock that we base this on and just pull that at least around that part. Hopefully that makes them feel a little bit more at home, because they look a little bit lost, I think, that colour against the bare stark mud that we've got there. I'll go back to wetland and pop the mud back on just to soften up the edges of it, where it blends into the ground. Class. I think that's that. So I'm just going to do some rocks around the rock pools. Don't think it's the best looking rock work I've ever done, but it's rock work and it'll look good once the trees and things are in. The last bit I want to do is just get some of the diddy rocks. So I'm going to have to change the colours on those because otherwise the diddy rocks won't be the right colours. Do they hold the colours? Like if I do that and go back? Yeah, so I just need to select them, change the colours on them, and then I can go to town with these once we pop on this. And I'm just going to dot these about each of the rock pools. Lovely jubbly, I'd say that's the rock work done. Let's try something else backwards as well. We haven't put in any dung beetles. I'm going to place these around parts where I think there might be bushes. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try and hide them in the bushes that way. Because what I normally do is put the dung beetles down after, and then it's really hard because the bushes get in the way. And nobody enjoys that. So if I hide some around the rocks, the more the merrier I've found. Like, they actually do a really good job, but only within a certain radius it seems. I might be wrong. But the pen I've done with the least of them, spread out the worst, I have to empty the poo out of it all the time. So anyway, we're on to trees, we need wetland. I'm going to start with bushes as well. Let's keep working backwards. Let's keep doing things the opposite way around to what I normally do. I don't see why not. I think the next thing I'm going to run over is probably some of these reeds, because I believe there's reeds in the wetland. So let's get them. Let's just stick with the reeds for now. Keep the density high, and I'm just going to go around the water's edge, I think, with them. That's how I want them to be. Oh, those are like light-headed reeds. I was thinking they look different. So I've got some dark-headed reeds too. Let's get some of them in. So all we've got to do is plop some of the bigger trees and things around where we want them, and we're on to a winner. Well, we won't be on to a winner, we'll have won. So let's get some of the bigger trees. I like the density low, and I like to do these kind of just individually so I can space them how I feel like they should be spaced. Right, let's check with the dinos now then. Hey, perfect. I'm going to say that that is the enclosure complete. The dinos are happy. I'm happy. What more can I say? Let's have a quick little look around. So we've got the 3 viewing areas. The first one, if the guests come up and up onto this platform, they have this lovely picturesque view where they have the amphitheatre there, a pond in front, and you can even see their bed in the distance. I think that looks really nice, if I say so myself. I think we've picked the views well. I'd imagine we'll have. This one might leave a little bit to be desired. We'll find out. I mean, it gives you a good view into their bed though, and this looks really nice down here, to be honest. All these happy little accidents that we're having, and again, the amphitheatre's in the background. And we'll just test the last one. Have a quick little look in here. I really like how these feel when you walk into them. And actually, this one might be my least favourite view. Can't really see the bed. It looks a bit of a muddy mess, but it's a rock pool and you can see the amphitheatre still. But yeah, I think they're 3 decent views around the back of that enclosure. But the main thing we built this here for was to see if we could get some views up here. So let's have a look. Get that out of the way. Yeah, that's good. That's nice looking down. And I think if I add some hills and things around the back, or if we get another enclosure, I think it's going to look even better. Oh, and you see right down into the bed here. That's nice. Yeah, I think this has worked out well. I'm more than happy with it. So I'm going to call that there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you've enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. And I'd love to hear from you. So if you've got any thoughts about the video or you've got any tips, drop us a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. But once again, thank you for watching. You guys take care of yourselves and I will catch you later. Cheerio.